When my brother Miles told my 9-year-old daughter Lily to eat in the garage while keeping 4 empty seats at the table for his drinking buddies, a chill settled over me. It was meant to be a family brunch, his words. He'd reached out in our family group chat saying he wanted to reconnect because we'd been distant and needed to act like a real family again. I almost skipped it, but my husband Mike convinced me otherwise. They're making an effort, and your parents aren't getting any younger. It's just brunch, not a blood pact. We prepared homemade lasagna, with Lily enthusiastically helping, hoping to impress her uncle, who she remembered liked cheese. We arrived early, thanks to Mike's punctual nature. The house smelled of bacon, coffee, and an overwhelming air freshener. I felt uneasy seeing the driveway filled with Miles's friends' cars. Inside, the dining table, my parents' old 10-seater, was set for 12. Though only 6 people were present. 4 chairs were reserved, plates and cutlery laid out. I placed our lasagna in the kitchen while Lily hung her jacket by the door. Miles sauntered in from the patio, already holding a morning beer. "Glad you made it," he greeted us, like we were guests at some casual shindig. "Where should we sit?" I asked, eyeing the empty chairs. He glanced at Lily, then back at me. "Oh, right, about that," he mumbled, scratching his jaw. "There's no space at the table, but we set up something in the garage." I laughed, expecting a punchline, but Lily looked up with uncertain eyes. "What?" I questioned as comprehension dawned. "There's no space," he repeated, gesturing to the table. "The guys are coming, they have their usual spots, you get it, right?" Staring at the table, I saw 4 empty places. "But there are 4 empty seats," I pointed out. "We're just 3 people." He shrugged dismissively. "Those are for my friends," he insisted. "We've got this set up. Dad's at the head, Mom next to him. My wife and I take the other. The guys are always here. You can eat in the garage, it's fine." Lily went silent, clutching my shirt. My neck burned with anger. "In the garage," I echoed. He nodded, now irritated. "It's clean. We put a card table. There's a fan. The kids can eat there, and you too. It's just brunch." "Why are you looking at me like that?" Mike intervened, calm but with a dangerous edge. "Why can't we sit here, and your friends eat in the garage?" Miles scoffed. "Because they're my friends. We drink and watch the game here. It's not that deep. Your kid will be fine in the garage. It's not like it's raining." Lily whispered, "Mom, I don't want to eat in the garage." My parents were within earshot in the kitchen. My mom suggested, "Can we just sit people wherever? There's room." Miles snapped back. "No, there's not, Mom. You said invite whoever. I invited my friends. I'm not making them eat in the garage like dogs. She shouldn't have brought her whole family." My whole family was Mike and Lily. Something inside me shifted irreversibly. This wasn't the first time Miles treated us as expendables in his life, but this was the first time he tried banishing my child to the garage. "So my daughter ranks below your drinking buddies?" I confronted him. He rolled his eyes. "Stop being dramatic. Why turn everything into a respect issue? Just sit in the garage and eat. It's seriously not a big deal." Lily's eyes were glassy, tears threatening. I knelt beside her. "Get your jacket, sweetie," I whispered. "We're leaving." Miles laughed. "Leaving over seating? You're unbelievable. No wonder no one invites you anywhere." Mike reminded him. "You invited us, remember? Family brunch?" Miles dismissed us with a wave. "If you want to be offended, go right ahead." Finally, my dad stepped in. "Just let them sit at the table," he urged Miles. "You can't banish your niece to the garage." Miles stubbornly replied, "I can do what I want in my house. My friends always sit here. I'm not changing it because she's sensitive." That was it. I took Lily's hand, her fingers icily small in mine. "Say goodbye to Grandma and Grandpa," I told her. She hugged them tightly, my mom whispering apologies into my ear. My dad's jaw was locked in anger. Miles smirked as we moved to leave. "Take your lasagna," he sneered. "We don't need it." I picked up the trays, handing one to Mike. "We'll take them," I said. You clearly have all you need. We walked out, Lily's tears finally spilling in the driveway. Did I do something wrong? She asked, voice quivering. My heart clenched. No, sweetheart, I reassured her. You did nothing wrong. Some adults are just selfish. She nodded, trying to accept my words, but the story didn't end there. Late that night, I opened our family's joint account, a financial safety net my parents had established long ago, supposedly for emergencies, medical bills, upkeep of the family home, with me overseeing the paperwork. Miles, however, treated it as his personal overdraft, piling debts without paying his share, always promising he'd catch up. I'd covered his financial gaps for years, paying for our parents' medicines without a fuss, overlooking transfers labeled weekend trip or game night snacks, telling myself it wasn't worth the conflict. But after the brunch, I lay awake replaying Miles's dismissive words. I can do what I want in my house, echoing in my mind. By 3 a.m., driven by anger and clarity, I sat at the kitchen table with my laptop, logging into the account. The balance was alarmingly low, even accounting for what I knew Miles owed. And then, there was it. A significant transfer 2 days before the brunch, from the joint account to his personal account, labeled rent catch-up. Yet, my parents had already dipped into their savings to cover his rent that month. I called Mike over. Look at this, I showed him. He read silently, then stated, He's stealing from them, from your parents, and by extension, from you, from their future care. I scrolled back through months, seeing a pattern. Small transfers, then larger chunks, always to Miles, never coming back. Something snapped inside me. I'm done, I declared, and so began my revenge. I didn't drain the account. I didn't take anything for myself. Instead, I compiled every statement from the past 3 years, highlighting suspicious transfers without family approval. I annotated each with simple explanations. Rent, already paid by parents. Weekend trip with friends. TV purchase. Bar tab. Then, I contacted the bank. With full authorization, I requested Miles's access be revoked, citing possible misuse. They agreed to temporarily freeze his access for investigation, sending confirmation to my parents' home address. When the confirmation arrived, my parents were puzzled. I visited them, bringing my evidence-filled folder. We sat at the same table Miles had denied to my daughter. I was blunt. Here's what's been happening with the joint account. Miles has been using it like a personal fund. The bank froze his access because I reported it. I won't reinstate it unless there are clear rules. Honestly, we should remove him entirely and set up a new account for just your expenses. My mom's hands trembled as she read, my dad silent, his anger simmering beneath the surface. How long? He finally asked. At least 3 years, I replied. My mom whispered, He said he was struggling. It was just bad timing. He was struggling, I acknowledged, but he was also deceiving you, and he humiliated your granddaughter while exploiting your money. My dad nodded. I want him here, he stated, resolute. We called Miles, summoning him without explanation. He arrived, irritated at the interruption. I was busy, he complained. Sit, my dad ordered. Miles slouched into a chair, indifferent until my dad pushed the folder towards him. Explain this, he demanded. Miles's expression shifted from confusion to annoyance, then anger. You went through my account? He accused, glaring at me. It's not your account, I countered. It's the joint family account. You signed the agreement. He jabbed a finger at me. You're petty, he accused. This is because of yesterday. You're blowing this up over seating. My dad slammed his hand on the table. Enough, he commanded. You took money that wasn't yours, without asking, for non-emergencies. You lied to us about rent while helping yourself to this account. Miles retorted, I'm your son. It's family money. I'll inherit it anyway, so why does it matter when I use it? My mom's tears flowed. "It matters because we trusted you," she said. "And your sister has been contributing for us, not so you can indulge yourself." He turned to me, accusatory. "You could have talked to me. Instead, you went to the bank like a snitch, obsessed with control. You cut me off?" I met his gaze steadily. "I've been covering your share, managing their care while you played king. Yesterday, you tried to exile my child for your friends. Today, you face consequences." He scoffed. "So this is revenge," he said. "You admit it." I nodded. "This is me protecting my child and parents from you. If that's revenge, so be it." Miles appealed to our parents. "Are you siding with her? Over money and a seating chart?" My dad leaned forward. "This isn't her excluding you," he said. "This is you showing us who you are. You stole from us and humiliated our granddaughter. You're not welcome here until you repay and apologize." Miles laughed bitterly. "Fine. Keep your precious account, your golden child and her perfect life. Don't call me when you're sick and alone." He left in a storm of resentment. My mom wept softly, my dad unyielding. Later, my phone buzzed with messages. From Miles. "You're a snake. You ruined my bond with our parents. You brainwashed them. All because your brat wouldn't eat in the garage." From his wife, Jessica. "You made him look like a thief. He's under pressure. You didn't have to report him. You embarrassed him." Mike read them and advised, "Block him." I didn't. Instead, I muted him for a record. Hours later, another message from Miles arrived. "When our parents die and the will is read, you won't get a cent. I'll insure it." I didn't reply. Since then, I've kept my distance, helping my parents open a new account for their expenses, cutting off Miles's financial access entirely. I assured them I'd cover what I could, but I wouldn't share financial ties with him again. Lily asked if we'd ever return to Uncle Miles's house. "No," I told her firmly. "Not for a long time." She thought about it and simply said, "Good. I didn't like the garage." After drawing a long overdue line and taking a stand against years of neglect and disrespect, I finally felt a sense of closure. Justice had been served, and my family and I could move forward, free from Miles's shadow.